Hey everybody, we're back in the shop today, and as you can see here, my forge is cold, but we are going to have a shop day today. What I'm thinking we're going to do is work on some of our tooling. We have a lot of issues here in the shop. Um, lack of skill um, is a big one, and some of the other ones are lack of tooling and some things like that. So uh, what I think we're gonna do is try to work on some of our tooling today. Um, at least cut back a little bit on some of the things that keep us from making nicer work, and you know get us to the where we can focus on the skill errors and work those up. There's that shop chicken. Can you see him? It's a her. Hey, you, out of the shop. Out of the shop. Not that way. Get, get, get out of the shop. Ow, 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 ow. Go, 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 go. So, who else has a shop chicken? All right, so a couple of things we're going to work on is hammers. Uh, you see, this is not for blacksmithing. I don't know what this was for. Very flat, very straight head on it. I got to round that up because I don't think I have that kind of skill. I put lines in everything I hit. Also, the pickaxe part, you know, uh, why not? Since this handle is something I put on and it's not very good anyway, uh, why not throw this in the forge and see if I can't turn this into a crossbeam? See if how much I can upset it back towards itself, and then so I don't lose any weight because it's only a 1.5. It does say that on there somewhere, possibly. Um, so try to keep my mass and upset this back. That'll be one of the things. Also, rounding. Um, I guess round a little bit of the top and bottom, but mostly just get some rounding on the side so that you can do uh, some side hitting, to fuller stuff. Same with putting that crossbeam on the back. I don't really have a lot of fullering options. Uh, Same with this. This is just a sledge, it's not super new, but it is a very sharp edge off the circle. So I just dress those a little bit on both sides because they're pretty much the same, and maybe get a little bit more uh, rounded edge on the sides, but just touch it up a little bit. See what we can do. Um, the other thing is my ridiculous fullering tool that I made. Um, you can see how much that steel does not like to be hit. And that's as far down as it goes now. So this piece was actually pretty strong. I don't know what this is made out of. And I thought I had a bunch of these. And this is the only one I found. But I think we'll just make it out of rebar. We have rebar to work with at this point, and we might as well make tools that would be successful as rebar, because making leaves out of rebar is uh, probably not the metal you should be using. But a spring fuller tool out of rebar sounds like a good plan. So maybe we'll redesign this and forget this whole craziness and go with the spring action fuller. Same thing, just uh, sort of thing. The other thing is clamping. We have small 3 and 4 inch vices here. Um, I got this guy, which is a nice one. It's that bullet design, which is cool, but it's on the small side and it's not mounted. This one over here is was much smaller. It's maybe 3, and it was okay. I used it for twisting the metals, which was good. But it's once again, if I would strike anything, it's just going straight down, and I'm not looking to mar up my pieces. So what we're gonna do is build some kind of post clamping smasher thing. Um, I do got this cool thing here, uh, but I think that's decent steel. I think I like the weight and chop that up and use it for stuff. But uh, I'll probably build a lot of it out of wood. Get some 4x, make a bit of a post with a base, and then I will attach metal to the top. Now, unfortunately, right now I'm being really cheap and not going out and buying more welding wire from my tiny little welder. It's hiding back there next to the big guy that I haven't gone through yet to see how dangerous it is. Um, but also since we might not be able to attach our metal at this point, there might be some other projects we work on. We're working on our 2x72 belt grinder. Made these up the other day, mostly with more tools that aren't properly equipped. But I dropped my room, throw something on the ground, uh, put my tiny little trim router maybe. Sunk it into the plate a little bit. It's not 100%. It's a little uneven. Uh, I gotta get it situated a little better. Um, put these on and just stuff that piece into the corner and twist it. You know, and then once you get the outside rim done, um, and of course, you start with some kind of hole drawn in the middle, and then just widen it out a little bit. Um, this really just chips out. This is like an MDF. Um, I think these are 3/4 inch pieces in thickness. You can see there's a flat spot. That's from cutting it from the edge. I had to cut all these circles out by hand. They were really um, awfully done. And then gluing them together, I didn't have them super on top of each other. So, like, yeah, it was ugly. Um, but these awesome little bearings should work out. I think they're about a 3/4 inch in the middle. So now, along with our clamping problems, we do have some little threaded items. I got a couple things around. Um, Here's another thing I picked up. Not sure what we're gonna do with that, but we got to find some option to clamp these work pieces and be able to smack them. You know, drive some punches into them, things like that. Because it is really annoying not being able to hold on to your work. Like the first tongs I made, uh, horrible, 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 and uh, and I'm dropping my pieces in the dirt. My anvil's not 100% locked down. Things are very vibraty, and this dirt likes to turn into glass when you heat it over there. It's just terrible. So I'm gonna see what we can come up with today to make our processes a little better, and then we can get more focused on getting our skills better, because right now everything's holding us back. All right, I'll get back to you when I figure something out. Alrighty. Well, we did a little work on the hammers. See if we can get you in there. Um, I just did one side. I like this hammer so far, and I didn't want to mess it up. Uh, so let me hold it with the light side there. So I tried to get as much rounding here on the sides as possible without going too much. Um, awkward spot. This side seemed like it had a lot more distance from the edge to the circle. I don't know if that's because of this seam type thing here. I just gotta hold it down here. But yeah, so I have a lot more rounding there. Here it's a little more. It's a narrower radius. But you know, I'll give both a try. See what it's like. I rounded the top a little bit, rounded the bottom a little bit. So, and all the way around the circle, I rounded up because it's a very sharp edge. Um, it didn't mark things like the other hammer, but so we'll give this a shot, and we'll see how we like it or dislike it. This guy here, we rounded all the way around. Um, I hit both of them on the flat to try to get some flat, make sure they were pretty flat. The other hammer was actually not as flat as I thought it was, because when I was going over it, I got a lot of marks in the middle, and so it wasn't as flat as I thought it was, but it does flatten my pieces pretty well, at least to my untrained eye. So everything here got rounded all this. Tried to get a little more round on the sides, and it's a little rounded this way, on both sides, and rounded up the corners a little. So, and like I said, now this handle was off something else. It was broken. So I don't know what it originally went to, but it became a little shorty hammer for this guy. And I didn't, I'm not a good handler, so I haven't handled it that well. It works its way up just a hair. I got a good 1/16 of an inch gap that forms there before I tap it back down or tap it back down. But I think I'm gonna stick this thing in the fire. Leave the handle on it, see what happens. If I gotta rehandle it, it ain't nothing new. I can do another bad job of handling it. But I'm gonna put this in there, heat it up, see if I can't shove some of it back, uh, and turn it into a little bit more of a cross beam. Yeah, if it ain't broke, broke it. Now over here, I have a stand that came with a belt, a bandsaw. I have a little bandsaw back there, like a 9-inch maybe. And it needs work, but it came with this table top. It's all angle iron. It's pretty stiff. It's got a lot of reinforcement in it, and it's actually the sturdiest thing in here. So I thought, hey, let's use it because that bandsaw, I'm not using it a lot yet. It's just for a little bit of work here and there. And so for some pounding surfaces, I bolted this on. It turned out to be a little too big. This is probably like I don't know, 3x4. It's rather large. It takes a 4x4 block in it, which might turn out to be useful. I thought the 45-degree angle would be useful if I could somehow get my piece and just take a hammer, if I could be on here somehow, because you got to work a little bit, but really, if you got to work any side pieces, you might as well be on the anvil. But because I'm really looking at like being able to hit this way, like upsetting, like with this, I could upset it, uh, you know. So I was looking at different ways of, you know, taking up this space, and it turned out it's just a little bit too much space, you know. Like if somehow I could wedge, that would be good. But it doesn't seem. It seems like too big. Now over here, this is smaller. This is more like 1.5 by 1.5 maybe. Uh, this came with all my scrap metal over here that I picked up. It has this bend. I'm thinking if I had a little less bend to it, I can put this in, jam it, you know, kind of where it is, and pretty easily just, you know, set a piece here and wedge it with whatever I happen to have. This is just a little stick of plywood. Like, you see how it bends. This isn't hardwood or anything. It's just a little stick of plywood. And, you know, I can get pretty good hits on there, side to side. Not the same. You know, it's going to loosen up, but this way, not so bad, as long as I don't shoot it off. So I was kind of looking at, you know, possibly jamming that in, and then taking another piece to go to the side and keep it in there. Now I'm assuming all this will have to become metal at some point because, you know, fire. But it gives me some more options to hold my piece down. I think everything will need to be a little bent differently. This is too wide to actually get in there and put sideways pressure on it. It would have to be narrower than the piece you're working on. And this rebar does cut into this piece down below. Everything comes loose that way. If not, you know, you can give these all a little wiggle. But I'm thinking this could get a little bit of reshaping. It does cut in. The rebar's pretty tough. I don't, you know, I've been using this rebar to make crap, and it is not what it's supposed to be. So I think this is going to become a chisel of sorts. Like, I really like how this one came out, the little finger punch for making the leaves, and I shaped it a little bit while I was working. They came out good. Hopefully I got some pictures of those. So I think I'm going to do a similar thing where I get a wedge about that shape, a little more round. This has a little bit of sharpness to it, and give it a slight radius this way, but then a bow. You know, it's going to be quite a few angles altogether. But since I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know 100% what it's going to be good for, but I would like to be able to, I'm thinking like chiseling some curved things and be able to come at it at different angles. So I think that's what this piece is going to turn into. But I'm going to leave this set up. I'm going to try a couple different things, I think, and we'll see what works out. But yeah, that little stick there. I got that rusty piece over there that I was making leaf after leaf on. Leaves, plural. Anyway, we'll see if any of that works out. But the table itself is super solid. You know, at the minimum, not a bigger amble if I ever spend that kind of money. But right now I'm too cheap to even buy welding equipment, so we'll see what comes out today. I'll get back with us. All right, we got our first piece done. Um, the other piece is cooling. Find a couple files that might do something for us. little sandpaper. Alright, put that in. It doesn't do, amazing. We gotta get that thing out of the way. Kind of like it for tapping up there. Let's see. Oh, we were getting better work out of this thing. We're hammering down, I guess, but not going up. And I don't know what I was doing there. I just let this cool off. I'm assuming I'm just going to hit hot metal with it, so it's going to be fine. Get all the sharp edges off. I want this thing to be rounded, just for making some nice looking grooves on our leaves or whatever we're making. I think my vise would be just as good for this. I'm hoping for hammering to figure something out. Man, somebody got an idea? Let me know. Try to round everything, because don't want to make marks in anything when we hit it. This is like 220, so it's not really doing a whole lot. But let me see kind of what I've got. What I got here. Got a thicker part here. It's not just you guys, I have bad lighting too. I can't see. Right. Probably we're gonna have to give this a try and then refine. See what you can see here. Get some light from outside. Too shiny? I don't know. Well, maybe if I stand in the background. So it's kind of cupped. It's a little rounded. All this way. A little higher. Huh? So it's a little rounded this way. I think I would want more. And then a little bit cupped that way. Kind of like a finger. Where's my little finger one? Look at that. Like magic, huh? Why didn't I just, you know what I should have did was put it on a piece of wood, and then I could have peened it down. Man, I don't know how to do this stuff. A couple of sharper edges on the side, but I don't think those are gonna be anything. And hopefully it's not too far off in that direction, because it is. And I'll take the grinder and take off this a little bit, and you can see it's kind of, I don't know. We'll make some kind of little point up there with the good thing. All right, now the other thing. I was still waiting. All right, you were probably just watching this on the last bit there. The whole time I had it in there, I was watching this head here. Now, you can see what color it got. At that point, I thought I better stick it in the water so it didn't get any hotter. Like if that's like one of those tempering colors or whatever they do, whatever they call that. I guess I should just stand here. So one good thing about doing this work and shining it up, I could always see when that color showed up. It's definitely past the lightest straw color. But I did throw it in the water. I don't know if that was in frame. Probably wasn't in frame, but that's what I was doing when I stepped off to the side. Unfortunately, I did burn the handle out. And this, like I said, we're just gonna see what happens. It's still real hot. Pointer. This isn't 100% smooth. I lipped it up quite a bit, had to knock it down, go back and forth a couple times on both sides. It doesn't look 100% even, but I'm hoping it at least gives me the ability. It's kind of the same shape I'm doing with everything, except it doesn't have a bow this way. I tried to keep it flat, but I don't think this is a super heavy hammer, so I'm not gonna be going crazy with it, but I can't fuller anything out to the side. I don't have all I got is a ball peen. I don't have any kind of cross peen. So if this doesn't work out, maybe I'll cut it and just shape it with the grinder and be done with it. But the handle wasn't the best anyway. But let's see what we can do here. This will go in the vise, I think. All right, we're set up here at the mini vise. See, this thing is pretty rickety. Let's get you squared up. I don't know how well you're really gonna see this, but oh, I'm about to edit some of this out. I'm not prepared. Still hot. I feel like that came out real good. This side looks like it needs more. Still hot. Who would imagine? Let me have this in here before. There we go. Oh, 3-inch vise. All right. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully you guys enjoy watching that. Hopefully. in the editing, I get rid of some of that noise for you. But I'm just gonna try to do most of this by hand. Because one, I can't see over here. I got no light. Sun's way over that way. And you know, you screw up on a pass, well, it wasn't that much. That thing I screw up with, and it's a lot. But I would assume with this P-man, it's not exactly going to be my finish hits on a piece. I don't know exactly how great this needs to be. And I could be completely wrong. But I think we'll get a much better hand finish. And I'll just try to roll everything and see. Look, I like lean against this table to kind of keep it from, you know, doing this. But it was a free little stand, you know, that came with my drill press. So 40 bucks, can't complain. You'll notice there's a reoccurring theme. I get things cheap, they don't exactly work, I have to fix them. And of course, I don't fix anything right away. Ask Michelle. We should just spin it around. So what do you guys think? Did I ruin this thing? I mean, I don't think hammers really need to be that hard, right? So we got a little tempering. We're okay. I was really worried about hitting the two hammers together, especially the head. You know, like hammering on here, it was hot, but hitting that head, and I feel like that was a mistake waiting to happen. Kind of see the shine a little bit where I'm working, but it's certainly rough. Spin it around. Hear that vibrating noise? They're making a road in front of my house. They like pulled the whole road out, went 30 inches down to put a new base in, and that thing feels like it's gonna vibrate my house apart. Hey, while I'm thinking about it, we got an awesome donation from a gentleman named PJ. I have no idea what it stands for. Got him on Craigslist and hooked us up with not only a tank for our RV, we had a busted hot water tank that I tried repairing last year and failed. Um, but the entire heating unit, like the whole thing, like the $280 whole unit, free. Just gave it to us. Uh, awesome. So thank you. Still a lip over here, you know, from the hammering it straight down. It lipped over a little. I don't know. I mean, it's not the same size, thickness wise across anywhere. Like, might turn out that I don't like it at all, but one day when I put a handle on it, we'll find out. Alright, let's get some better light and take a look at it. Alright, maybe if I put another glove on I can touch this thing. So, you can kind of see where I ground across, and the low spots are the grind marks, like here, here, and then I got my file marks that are a little smoother. The shinier parts are the file marks. So it's still pretty rough, not real even. Thickness is not real even. Man, I'm getting a bad focus here. I'll just stand in the way again. But you know, if we put another hammer handle on it, we'll find out what happens. Uh, Anybody know what happened there? Should I hit it with a file? Makes marks. Well, I'm sure whatever happened, it didn't get overly hardened, and it probably didn't get overly softened. But, you know, little 1.5 pound hammer, slightly under now. Ground off a little bit. Jesus, is anything in focus? No, pretty much not. I'll go set it over there on that bucket. Maybe you'll be able to see it. Okay. Oh, let's figure out what we're doing next. Alright, so I decided to keep going with the hammer. Last time I shaped this thing, this is like really hard wood, and I just whittled it down. And, you know, you can see still most of it here. It wasn't very good. So since this is thicker, I thought I would saw down. I've seen that done before. And, you know, as far as I can tell, I ruined it. But there's still a long way to go. So I can work the file and see where I end up. Try to get it somewhere that will work. It's kind of a ovalish head. So cross your fingers. Here's a little method of my madness. Just trying to hold it down kind of flat. It's probably vibrating the camera pretty good, huh? And then just see Seeing where the line is. Alright, couldn't really see the line that well. Smack it with a hammer. It's a long way to go. Still lots of room front to back. A little closer. Put it over the hardy hole. Really drill a line in there. Yeah, we're looking pretty tight all the way around. Maybe I haven't messed it up yet. Anyway, that's what we're working on. So I'm starting to feel at some point someone should have finished their bell sander. We're getting close, but one of the issues I'm trying to correct that I had created last time was how the handle wasn't quite lined up with the hammer. Probably can't really see that, but hopefully this time I get it a little straighter, because it was like the handle was kind of off to the side a little bit when you're holding the handle, which I don't know, I guess is the thing, but a little bit more and we should be there. All right, I think we're close enough to smash it on. Can't really see, can you? Now I can't see. You can see how much gap I have up there. That's no good. We're gonna have to put a lot of wedge in there, I think. We'll do a wedge long ways and then the metal piece short ways, I guess. See what happens. But we're close. I think we'll try forcing it on there and then see what happens. Alright, so I hacked these two pieces here out by hand. They both seem way too fat at the top. But really most of it's going to get cut off. So I'm going to give it a try with the slimmest one first, because we're probably going to cut the thing off like around here, so they're the length of it, so most of it's going to disappear. But we'll see what happens. Got a little bit of a cross cut there. Needed to jam up on the way in. No button. Tool tools. All the other tools I've been making. Tools to hold stuff. And this is just some pallet hardwood, really. I don't think that's gonna grab no more. Just some glue. Still gotta do some hammering. What glue stick the metal? I don't know. I think we're just gonna put it on. Hammer it down. Wedge it. I don't think we're using any glue. Yeah, maybe we'll put glue on this. I have several bottles of glue. But not one visible. Are you serious? Found one. Alright, hopefully we got everything we need. It's all gonna be perfect. Can you see anything? There you go. There we go. Still got crap all over it. Alright. Ooh, we're almost all the way down now. All the way down, I'd say. A little bit of gap on the back. Very tight fit. We can open that up a little. Wondering if the huge width of this isn't going to get in the way as we get down there. I mean, maybe I should cut this off a little closer. Gonna cut it off anyway, and that way this doesn't get in the way as bad. Ta-da! hopefully, you know, that means I get this in all the way. Did use that little thing to do the shoulders, because this wide raspy file isn't doing anything. Yeah, it's not like this thing had a good handle on it before. I feel like I'm all like, because I don't want to do it and mess it up. But hey, I just burned it, so what the hell? I know this isn't my see in the dark camera, so you guys are probably missing a lot of this. I feel like we got some gaps around. I'm trying to fill a lot of this with glue, just in case it wants to do something. You never know. Get rid of the gloves, maybe? I'll leave this up here. Alrighty, cross your fingers. I think it'll be like a lube and help force it in. Who gets that luck? Could use that right about now. We're getting anywhere. Unless getting glue on ourselves is getting somewhere. Bouncing out. Or because I filed an angle, because the head's at an angle, I'm just sliding down. Oh, what a mess. Getting no penetration. Oh, this wedge is way too thick, isn't it? Let's see. How do we avert disaster? Quick. Somebody needs Sheesh, I got no clue. Where'd that other wedge go? Might be a little slimmer. All right, into the dirt you go. Ooh, this one's even worsely beat up. Oh, but that glue is just right up on me. Is there a way to test fit this stuff? Did you guys forget to tell me something? Bad news. Alrighty. Ugly? Guess there's enough glue there. Ooh, got a little penetration. A little crooked. Oh, we're not backing back off. I guess that's good. I don't feel like we're moving. We're just breaking it now. Get it out of the way. That's not good. That was not the way to do it. Alright, so we got this wedge in. I had a way to smash it a little more, like with that other wedge, or something equally dumb. Can't say I haven't tried stupider things, right? Get out of my way, wood. I don't think that's doing anything. Maybe we just gotta let this be this. Did you see any of that? Do I have to edit this whole thing because there's nothing to see? Oh, it got in there before it bent over. Probably not the best wood to do this with. There was some kind of hardwood out of a pallet. Well, fortunately, I did recover the metal shim, so I'll stick that in there. Once it sets up, get some of that nasty light out of there. There we go. Kind of see it, right? So, all right. Day late and $1 short on the ugly tool contest again. Which reminds me, you guys watch that Dirty Smith show? We might have to do an apocalypse weapon thing challenge. Look at that. I put that on the back because I figured I had the furthest distance there. But severely ugly. Side to side. Look at the head and the handle. It's a little off. Still, I think I'm off in a similar direction I was before. All right, well, we'll see it in use tomorrow. Bye.